Atlanta. Welcome to WCEG Network's Veterans Today. This is our first program in 2024, and we ready to go.
Absolutely.
We, WCEG Network, we speak live in the community. We are the worldwide community empowerment group. There are several ways that you can join our conversation and watch us. But before I do that, let me tell you uh, the topics and opinion on those of the hosts and guests, not WCEG networks. WCEG is a nonprofit. Our business office is 404-490-8646. Now, let me give you ways that you can join us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, live. You can go to WCEG Network, radio.com, WCEG TV channels. We are WCEG Network and WCEG radio.com also connected with 12 podcasts and mobile app, this WCEG Network. And we can all have a very great conversation. And my partner, Brother Anthony Aikens, how are you this morning?
I am blessed to be alive, Herman, and it's also very good to see you, and happy New Year to you, my brother. And hopefully you had a great holiday season with your family, and I want to also say Happy New Year to our producer, Miss Vivian, who's done great work for us over the years. So it's so good to be back as we begin 2024. Speaking truth into the community. And we're going to start off today with an outstanding guest that will be coming on to kick off our initial show this year. So it's good to see you and good to be back.
And since we've been doing this show, one of our vision, one of the mission of Veterans Today and WCE Network is, as we say, we provide life in the community. And on the Veterans Show, we do everything we can to keep you current and updates about your benefits and opportunities. So we have a few current ones that we just gonna give you introduction information, and the details will follow.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that, because something happened yesterday that I was really unaware of, and it can be very beneficial to veterans that need transportation support from their home to their VA appointments. And that is getting transportation to the VA transportation system. And a veteran requiring transportation can request it to their primary care provider. It's called a beneficiary travel opportunity. And your primary care provider or your nurse could put an account out through the VA transportation office for a Lyft or Uber to pick you up from your place of residence, take you to your appointment, and then bring you back home. And for someone like me who's visually impaired and haven't driven a car in over 10 years, that was music to my ears because of the difficulty sometimes from getting to an appointment. So I want to share that with our veterans out there, that there is a beneficiary opportunity through the VA system to get transportation. But first you must go through your primary care provider. They will put an account out for you to the transportation division of the VA. And once you're in that system, you'll be able to order, reserve, call up to get a Lyft or Uber to pick you up from your place of residence, take you to your appointment, and then bring you back home after the appointment. So to me, that was tremendous news. And I utilized it yesterday for an appointment that I had at the Atlanta VA hospital. So hopefully that'll be helpful to others out there that require transportation to get to their appointments to go back home.
Thank you, Anthony. And I I think thinking about it, I'll work with you and my organization, and we'll put together a current. Maybe we'll do it quarterly. We'll put together current items and the process on how to get them started, how to get started in the process. Because what you said, you you have to with this one, you have to contact your primary care provider, and really when you're doing that, you need to have enough information so that they know what you're doing, know what you're asking for.
Okay, exactly right. And your primary care provider can really help you with that. But also to the transportation department, they were extremely helpful once they realized my situation, um, and they have really extended themselves to make it happen. So I encourage veterans in that kind of situation to utilize that benefit. You earned it. It's nothing given to you. You earned that right. So utilize it.
But that's all about understanding your benefits and your entitlement, the whole package of what we have earned, and that is definitely one of them. And another one is another combined package is the PAC Act. The PAC
Yes,
Act is about 2 years old now, and
correct.
it upgraded a lot of possibilities, and it also relaxed and created some other opportunities for veterans that like us that have earned our benefits to qualify to get a compensation and pension. And for an example, it added uh, pit burns for in the Agent Orange was already there, but it also added uh, hypertension, which wasn't on there, and there are some other items that were added. So even if you are in the system, if you are getting benefits now, and if you haven't up upgraded your records in uh, I talked to two VSO providers in their recommendation is that the way to do it is to submit records to update your information and to make it current, and that means you will be considered for the additional items that were added in the PAC Act, and it is that have increased the VA's workload, so the time that it takes you to get a response now is still not good.
Well, you know what? You hit the nail on the head when you talk about making sure your records are up to date. You know, that's so important. I often meet veterans that have gone through the system utilizing a VSO or whatever and received their ratings. And once they receive their ratings, they kind of like hit a brick wall, um, thinking that everything is done. Well, you have to realize if you're not, say, 100% total and permanent, which means you're done completely, and if you just have a 100% rating, that means you're still going to be uh, tested. You're still going to be evaluated to make sure that you're still at that particular level. So if you get to that particular level and stop going to your appointments, not being seen, and someone takes a look at your records, say, well, you know, we haven't seen this person at such and such, there's a possibility that you can lose some of your ratings. So you need to stay on top of your file. You need to make sure that you make your appointments. You need to make sure that you stay and keep in touch with your healthcare provider so you don't become a victim of a system that's always scrutinizing records to make sure that they are supposedly on top of things. Now, you know how long and difficult it could be to get a rating. Now, just think if your rating is taken away from you, how long it's going to be for you to try and get it back. So don't put yourself in that scenario. Stay on top of your files. Stay on top of everything you need to, and making sure that you make your appointments when they're scheduled. And if you can't, call in and reschedule. So the VA is a big monster. It's a huge monster that's always out there trying to snap up. But you got to make sure that you're the slayer, as we say, and do the right things. I guess you can just go with the old Spike Lee movie, do the right thing, and you'll be fine. Just do the right thing and you'll be okay.
Okay, and we're gonna give you at least one other update, then we'll move on. And this one is information that I received this week. And it's current, and it's regarding emergency suicide care and treatment. And this is a fact sheet, which I'm not gonna read out in most of. Veteran suicide crisis can now go to any healthcare facility at VA or in the community for free emergency health care, including transportation, costs, inpatient or crisis residential care for up to 30 days, outpatient care for up to 90 days, including social work, regardless of the VA with enrollment status. Compact eligible individuals are available. And to get more information about this, the number to call is 844-724-7842. 844-724-7842.
Good information, woman. Good information. The other thing too, and we're talking about, I just want to reiterate this to our veterans and listeners out there. If you have the opportunity, either yourself or family member, make sure that you go on and get yourself listed under e-benefits and My Healthy Vet. Those are two electronic programs that the VA is really relying on to communicate with veterans. You can receive secure messages from your primary care provider. You can go on e-benefits to check on your benefits and compensations. There's so many things you can look at. Your old blood record, your old blood record reports, all your medicines, all from pharmacy, anything dealing with your health. You'll be able to find it on e-benefits and My Healthy Vet. So please go and register if you haven't done it. Have someone to assist you and get that done.
Well, that's what we always have talked about technology. Also, I talked to some VSO this week regarding people that are in the system are just putting someone new in the system. There are very few veterans, VSOs are just claim specialists that does this where you come into their office and you sit down and ask questions, or they fill the paperwork out for you. I mean, those days are pretty much gone.
Gone.
So you got to, you or someone in your family have to at least like register, get in the system, and the next thing is your chance of getting help then is over with a Zoom, a conference call, over a communication link with a specialist. And that's all the VA does. That's all the Georgia Department of Veterans Service does. It's so we have to emphasize the fact in that face-to-face is rare and they say far between. So
well, you know, you hit the nail on the head, because when I was at the VA yesterday walking down the transportation, I happened to walk by the Georgia Veterans Affairs office, and it literally had a barrier blocking the entrance to go and see the counselors,
yes.
and the sign said appointment only. So you just can't walk up there anymore to ask questions. If you're not in the queue with an appointment or there's an emergency, you're not going to be seen. So it's good to understand, as we say, the rules of engagement. And once you understand the rules of engagement, you can come up with your medals, your mission essential task list to get stuff done. So, you know, I know I'm a little above you, Herman, with the Army jargon. Air Force probably Air Force probably has something else, but those Army knuckleheads out there, they know what I'm saying, rules of engagement and medals and things like that. So veterans, please do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family. That's the bottom line. Bottom line. You know, so we're right now, Herman, we're waiting on a guest to come on. We got a real exciting guest coming on today. And as soon as he comes into the queue, we'll bring him in and we can start off the year with this great guest.
And what while we're waiting, what is his expertise?
Well, our guest today is a Mr. Patrick Jefferson. Patrick is a retired U.S. Marine. And actually had a very unique background. This is the first Marine that, you know, we're going to be meeting that had a dual role. One, he was a Marine, so he was dealing with the soldierly stuff. But he was such a great athlete that he was on the all-Marine track team. And he traveled the world, supporting the athletic programs of the Marines, even to the point of getting Olympic-style training. And after his successful military career with the Marines, he became a business owner. And his business ownership is something that I just recently utilized. And that one is dealing with getting a new automobile. So he's an automobile broker. And he saved me thousands of dollars utilizing his service because he understands the game. He understands what needs to be done. And I'm very, very excited about him being on our show today.
Great. I have one more update that we can always try to keep our veterans, including all of us that are in the system, or that, as you mentioned earlier, it's constantly changing, and it's also constantly changing the way we communicate with the system. And this is a new VA Act, and it's information, again, that I just received. And it's Veteran Comprehensive Provision Access to Care Treatment Act of 2020. And it's the Compact, COMPACT Act. What does the Compact Act Section 201 mean for veterans? And this is what it says. What does the Compact Act Section 201 mean for veterans? VA will now provide a pay-for-treatment of eligible individuals with emergency suicide care, including transportation, costs at VA or non-VA facilities, up to 30 days of inpatient and 90 days of outpatient care, unless extended. Make appropriate referrals for care following the period of emergency suicide care. Determine eligibility for other VA services and benefits. Refer individuals for appropriate VA programs and benefits following the period of emergency suicide. So that is an update, and it included what Anthony mentioned earlier about working with the Department of Transportation. So that is another update on VA benefits and opportunities.
Right. So again, there's so many things out there for us that have served our nation and served well. And remember when we all signed in years ago, they indicated there was going to be a blank check to take care of us when we retired. Unfortunately, as we know, if we can go back 10 plus years, the VA system was in such a disarray that unfortunately we had many veterans to not receive the benefits and compensation that they earned because they died. Unfortunately, they died. or committed suicide because they couldn't get the help. And now we're seeing increased numbers in suicide. We're seeing increased numbers of individuals dying from COVID and other things because the system just couldn't handle it. Now, what to my surprise was yesterday the number of people not working at the VA. The census is down as far as staff. They're not fully a robust hospital as it was 3 years ago. So now you're contending with scheduling, contending with appointments. I have an appointment for one of my vision scenarios. I can't be seen until July. Here it is, January. But that's how far out they're planning because they have lack of staff to get to the veterans. So basically what I'm saying is you got to stay on top of it, as you said earlier, making sure your files are right, making sure that you're known, as we call, you're H with the last four numbers. I'm A with last four numbers. And we're one of many, many that the veteran system is seeing, not only here in Georgia, but throughout the country.
Yeah, on some of the veteran communication, it's being the veteran is advertising that they are interested in hiring people. So that speaks to the shortage, and it also speaks to what we talked about from Anthony and myself quite a time. The culture of the VA system, not just at the Atlanta hospital, but the nationwide VA system to 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 change the culture, you have to change it throughout the system. And we also always talk about accountability and responsibility.
And that's on both ends. I mean, accountability and responsibility on both ends. You as a veteran have a role, and that role is to let the VA system know exactly what your concerns are, your illnesses are. And if you have not been seen to be evaluated, you can go in and get yourself an appointment to be seen so you can be rated later on. But the starting point is to be seen. And that is to schedule an appointment, go in, be evaluated, and then let the system work through the support of your veteran service organization to get you the benefits. I mean, I'm running into veterans now who started out 20 years ago getting a rating of 20%, 30%, and 30 years later, they finally get their 100% rating. So I said, what happened between that time frame? Oh, I didn't want to get involved. I didn't want to be bothered. Oh, the system was going to be against me. Yeah, probably true. But if you don't follow through on your end, like I said, it's a dual-way street. You got to follow through on your end to make sure that your records are straight, your files are admitted to be evaluated to get the rating and the benefit that you've earned.
That is true, and also the VA system is part of the entire nationwide government at a national level. And what I'm talking about, the budget is controlled and approved by elected people that we vote for. So it's WCEG Network, and we're nonpartisan, but we are also emphasized, and my point is to put out information to ways like Anthony said, in order to be involved, not only if you have claim work need done, or if you have one in the system, it goes up the system from our state representative to our congressman to people who's on the Veteran Affairs Network in Washington. Their commitment, their vision for veterans. So it's work to be done, starting at the ground roots all the way up, and it also involves civics as far as our government, not to get into which party or which thing like that, but it involves understanding how our government works and how the VA system works.
Well, you just you just mentioned a word, man, that took us back 60 plus years, civics. Understanding how the system works, and knowledge is power, and how you use that power is beneficial. So again, I got to go back to that Army term, understanding the rules of engagement. And once you get the rules of engagement down, then you can follow through with your operational plan to get what you need done. And that's really an operational plan. It's all about taking care of you and your family, etc. We're getting older. I mean, I just turned 73 and I'm blessed. There are veterans and people around us leaving every day. As of right now, I feel a little remorse because there's we know my wife and son have been daily providers or encouragers of a young lady, 32 years old, stage 4 cancer. And today they just gave her a DNR bracelet, do not resuscitate, which means she's about to leave here. God is calling her home. So for those that are here, veterans, I know we've gone through a lot of things in the military, all of the wars and campaigns all around the world. We signed up for that. And we signed up for that for a reason, to protect our borders, because we know freedom is not free. So since you've been out there, you've done what you needed to do, endured heat, endured cold weather, endured being in a swampy desert environment. You've done everything you needed to do. So why don't you do what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family? Take care of yourself and your family. You serve with integrity, you serve with honor, and you serve with duty. You did all of those things. Now that you're retired, there was a blank check offered to you. Write your name on that check and get yourself taken care of.
Well, that's and along the lines of caretaking or being a caretaker. I will say that the VA and other organizations, and one organization that I will name is AARP, because AARP partners with the Veteran Association, is for caretakers. You have to take care of yourself so that you can take care of other people and not burn out. So that's part of the program is and there are the VA along with the budget in general are making more resources available for particularly for health reasons, cancer, uh, uh, what other diseases. There are more resources available as the nation become more aware of that situation. Uh, I'm a personal cancer survivor of 18 years, so I have an understanding of being taken care of and being grateful that 18 years later I'm able to sit here and have a conversation with Anthony.
That's commendable, man. I mean, that is very commendable. And I love your spirit and your attitude. 18-year survivor, whoo, and you're still kicking it, man. So, and you do a lot through your veterans organization, your support to the community. People just don't realize the amount of work, the good work that you do for the community, and the good work you do for veterans. So I salute you.
Thank you, sir.
I salute you for what you do, because it's not easy. It's really not easy. So we need to continue on. I tell you what, Herman, I'm going to reach out just for a moment to make sure that we have our guests online, and make sure everything is squared away so we can continue on. I just want to let you know what I'm doing.
Okay, we want to let our audience know that Anthony is checking at this time, and while he is mentioning it, that particularly uh, veterans in getting uh, understanding your entitlement and benefits and how to uh, get in the system really to get what we have earned. And it's, as they say, it start the ground level is number one for you to decide that I'm going to apply for my benefits. I'm going to get in the VA system. And the next step is, and it also requires preparation. Uh, and your discharge document is, it doesn't have to be, but the most well-known one is a DD Form 214.
Here you go. You need that one, Herman.
So the first thing, whether you call somebody or whether you fill out the form and mail it in, or whether you walk into an office if you can find one, the first question you're gonna ask is, who are your DD 214 in? So in your medical records, is the next thing is, you know, whether you went to the VA here in Atlanta, or whether you went to north side of Piedmont, what what medical records do you have? In you you may have a lot, you may have a few, but whatever you got, you need to have. You don't physically have to have them, but you have to have uh, been to the records department at the VA, the records department at other hospitals, and have a way to get that rolling. Because a lot of people apply, and the first when the first no that we get, then that's, you just drop it. That's the end of it. But and it's so but you shouldn't do that. Uh, Number one, you should be prepared. Then when you when if you find out you got a missing document, a missing phone call, just make a date to do that and keep moving.
And keep moving. You know, don't stay stagnant. Get up. Keep moving. That's the word, man. Keep moving. You just can't. Woof. You got to stay moving. That's all I'm telling you.
And also, what is a VSO and what is a claim office? A veteran service organization, I mean, there's the big six and there's the rest of us, which is thousands. But uh, the one that I can think of as part of the big six is DAV, Vietnam Veterans of America, American Legion, VFW, and I can't remember the other
Purple
two.
Heart. Purple Heart.
Purple Heart, and there's one more. But those are, they actually have lobbying and access to Congress. But I mean, there are thousands of nonprofit organizations that is with certified claim writers that can help you with your claim.
Correct.
And so
You know, I'm still in touch. I received my rating in 2011, and I'm still in touch with my VSO person because we developed a relationship, and as a result of that relationship, taught me the importance of advocating to others to go to someone like him. It could be any one of the big six that you mentioned, but these are third-party organizations that do not work for the VA, but they work for you and to help you with, you know, caregiving opportunities, help you to get your ratings, to let you know everything what's going on. So, Herman, I think we may be having a guest coming on here shortly. We need to find out from our producer, is he available to come on in now, Mr. Patrick Jefferson?
He is in.
Okay, there. Let's see if we can find him there. Oh, there he is. How you doing there?
You need to
You're on
unmute.
mute. You're on mute. Please unmute. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear
Happy
me
New
okay?
Year. Happy New Year. Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year to you as well.
Well, I tell you what, there, Mr. Jefferson, I am with my good friend of a number of years, Mr. Herman Anderson, and we were just waiting on you to come on. So I tell you what, Herman, our guest, Mr. Patrick Jefferson. So, Mr. Jefferson, tell us a little bit about yourself so we can get right into why you're here.
I don't know how far back you want me to go, but I can tell you my father's a retired Marine. I myself went in the Marine Corps right out of high school. Spent 6 years in. I was all Marine track and field. I would have stayed in the Marine Corps forever. I loved it. But they found that I could run really fast. When they found that out, they put me with the all military track and field team and qualified for the Olympic trials in '92. Signed with Nike shortly thereafter. Got out of Marine Corps in '93. Nike moved me to Atlanta. Got here. By then I had a family. Just decided that, it got hurt, and decided to just go to school and become an accountant. So I went to Georgia State, became an accountant, and was in accounting for about 7 years when the company I worked for went under. And when they went under, I had a good friend of mine that I grew up with in Augusta, Georgia, who was in the car business, and told me, he said, Patrick, he said, man, you're a finance manager waiting to happen. And I remember laughing at him and sticking my chest out and saying, man, I'm an accountant. There's no way I'm gonna be no car salesman, man. Leave me alone with that nonsense. He was like, Patrick, man, he said, just trust me. He said, I'll tell you what, he said, just come out, hang out with us for the weekend. He said, I'll show you the ropes. He said, and you can do this until you find another accounting job. And that was in 2001. And here I am, 22 years later, still in the car business. So it just kind of had a way to take a hold of you. And here I am. Now, I officially retired from working at the dealerships in 2019. I've been an owner. I've owned dealerships. I've been a general manager, finance director. I mean, I've done every job in a dealership except wash the cars, and I think I've done that a few times. So what I basically did, the hours, I was working 60, 80 hours a week. Once we got our final child out of the house, my wife and I have 6 kids. So once we got the final child out the house, my wife was like, lay it down. It's just me and you now. We need time to ourselves. I thought I was done with the car business in 2019. And then the first phone call came in, Patrick, I'm going to buy a car. Will you go with me and help me out? So I went with a friend, sat with them through the dealership, helped them out. And that friend told a friend who told another friend who told another friend. Next thing I know, I'm back in a car dealership 2-3 days a week, helping people buy cars. The beauty of it on this side, though, is now I'm on the customer side as opposed to the dealership side. I know all the answers. I know all the lies they tell because I used to train people to tell them. So I know what the dealerships are going to say before they even say it. So yeah, I'm the guy who sits in the back of the class, and I know I have all the answers to the book. And
may I ask you, so do you think that your time in the Marine Corps, either being the soldierly part and then being fortunate enough to be on the all-Marine track team, prepared you for your business life?
I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I have 2 very aggressive parents. My father, being a retired Marine, had a very disciplined life growing up. My mother, highly intelligent, very rah-rah. She was very, baby, you can do anything. Now, I tell people this all the time. Everyone wants to look at their child and tell their child, you can be and do whatever you want. But that's not true. Every child can't be and do whatever they want. I was fortunate. I was blessed. I really could have gone in any direction I wanted. And I had the type of parents who, you know, instilled that into me at a very early age. And yeah, and taught me discipline. Being in the Marine Corps myself just reinforced that discipline. I was promoted really fast in the Marine Corps, and people think it's because this is the really funny part. People think it's because I already knew the Marine Corps. I'm gonna tell you, I was like the dumbest Marine Corps kid in the history of Earth. My father was a career recruiter. So when I got to boot camp and they were giving me camouflage, I'm looking at them like, why are you giving me these? Where are my dress blues? I had no idea what was going on. Seriously. So, but the life lessons that they taught me, you know, again, the discipline that I learned from my father carried over through boot camp. And carried over into the Marine Corps. So a lot of the things that people were reacting to in the military, I was just disciplined enough not to react to. I think that again, yeah, that discipline carried over into the business world. So when I went to college and when I became an accountant, it gave me the ability to focus, you know, to be task oriented. My wife and I, we laugh about this all the time. We're both triathletes. And so many people look at the end goal. They're looking at race day. Well, when you're training for a triathlon, that's a 6-month training program. You can't look at race day. You got to look at one workout at a time. You know, if you're building a brick wall, you can't think about the whole wall being built. You got to think about one brick at a time. And I've been trained to do that. So even in this business, like Mr. Aiken, when I was working with you, we were focused on your deal. I'm focused on your deal, getting your deal taken care of, one deal at a time. I'm not trying to juggle a million of them, you know. Yes. So just yeah, I think that's been helped me with my success in the business. Yes.
Let me move to today's situation. I'm a Vietnam veteran. My name is Herman Anderson.
Yes, sir.
So, and I'm also a member of, I don't know if you listened before, the different veteran groups. So in different veteran groups, tell a veteran as part of your membership, we'll get you a group discount. This group will get you a discount on washer drives, automobiles, or whatever. So if in today's environment, if I if I send a veteran to you to buy a car, I mean, I don't know what price range or what type is not the issue. How would you address that? Well, it would be individual unless my organization had signed some type of agreement that you would just not just, but one of your clients would be our veteran. But as an individual that I recommend to contact you, how would that work?
So one of the things I try to tell all my clients is that everyone's so focused on price. Okay, they're so focused on how much can you get me off on this vehicle. You know, let's just say a $30,000 vehicle, and they say, well, how much price can you get off this vehicle? And I tell people all the time, there's a difference between price and value. Okay, so let's just say you're looking for I don't know, I'm just gonna throw the car out there. You're looking for a 2020 Toyota Tacoma, okay? And they're out there and you see them for $30,000 and they're like, how much can you get the price off of that? Well, I can find you one at a really low price. Let's say I find you one at $25,000. And you're like, oh, wow, you got $5,000 off of that. Well, if I find $5,000 off, but I look at the history of that vehicle and it's had 6 owners, it's been in 5 accidents, you know, it hasn't had any service records done to it, you know, wow, I got you a great price, but I got you a horrible value. So there's a combination in looking at that. Now, if I find you one that's not 25,000, but it's 28,000, I only got you $2,000 off, but it's a 1-owner vehicle, no accidents, all the service records have been done. And that way I know when you drive off in that vehicle that I know I'm gonna be able to sleep at night because you're not gonna be calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning talking about it broke down. Now I know I've gotten you a great value. I've gotten you a great deal. So let's just say you send someone to me. My job, based on their budget, I tell people this all the time, my job is to find you the absolute best value for the money that you have to spend. So I'm not looking for the cheapest price. I'm looking for the best overall value. How much warranty is left on that vehicle? Has that vehicle been inspected? And what's the history on that vehicle? I do a very extensive process when I'm looking, over these vehicles. Now, if you're buying a new one, even still, I want to know not just the pricing on the vehicle, but the financing. People don't realize how much money can be hid in the financing of a vehicle. I'm gonna tell you right now, I was one of the best finance managers on the planet. When you came to my office, I took all your money. I'm gonna tell you, I took as much of it as I possibly could. One of the things I have to do with my clients now, when they call me, my old clients, who used to come to me at the dealership, first thing I do is I apologize to them because I'm like, look, when you came in my office, I took all your money. I'm just gonna tell you. Now I'm gonna save you all the money I took from you before, and that's just being honest. That was my job at the time. My job at the time was to make as much money as I possibly could to feed my wife and my 6 kids. Now I'm on the flip side of that. So my money is independent of the dealership. I have no loyalty to any dealership in the country. I'm gonna tell you right now, my job is to find you the absolute best deal. So
Well, let me tell you something, Herman, and Mr. Jefferson can back me up. On the 30th of December, we went into a deal, my wife and I, with Mr. Jefferson. Actually started before then, but the 30th of December, we were at the dealership with the staff over there at this dealership. And I can tell you that while we were there with Mr. Jefferson, it was really pencil to paper, knuckles to knuckles, that the finance manager came in and said, look, you costing me money. Because they were trying to come at me with every opportunity to get into my pocket. And Mr. Jefferson being in the meeting with my wife and I, basically took us through the process, told us what the dealership was doing, what we did not need, what we needed, how to sign this document, and make sure that we're doing the things right. So when we left there driving away, we felt extremely comfortable, not only that we got what we wanted, but we felt comfortable with the process working with Mr. Jefferson. So I can just tell you it worked from firsthand experience. I'm very glad to hear that he fessed up and he told the truth. Look, my game plan was to make money. I had to take care of my family. But now that I'm on the flip side, I work for you. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you get the best deal possible for you and your family. So even though you're Marine, I'll salute you anyway, golly.
Well, back to
Yeah.
your question earlier as to how I deal with my clients. And so first of all, when we're looking for, most of my clients, when they come to me, they don't know what type of vehicle they want, or they'll have some idea as to what type of vehicle they want. So we have to sort through that first. And once we narrow down the vehicle that they want, I never let the dealership talk to my client. I keep them completely protected from the dealership, because once the dealership gets their name and their information and their phone number, they don't want to talk to me no more, because they know I'm gonna trim the fat. So they'll try to go around me and go directly to the customer. So I protect my clients from dealing with the dealership. By the time you get to the dealership, by the time we've worked out I work out all the numbers. I negotiate everything: price, payment, interest rate, warranty, anything that's related to that vehicle. I pre-negotiate everything. When you come into the dealership, you already know. You know how much money you're putting down. You know what the price of your vehicle is. You know what your payment is. You know what your interest rate is. They're I promise my clients there are no surprises. I handle everything. Dealerships hate me. I'm just telling you, they hate to see me coming. It kind of tickles me. I get a kind of joy out of it, but they hate to see me coming. So when I'm dealing with them, I mean, and I negotiate every single aspect. I leave no stone unturned. I want to make sure that we squeeze every piece of juice, every ounce of juice out of that lemon that we possibly can. And move
Before we
forward.
before we go any further, why don't you tell our listeners how they can reach you? And we're also going to put it on our Facebook page, but tell our listeners how they can reach you so they can, contact you for an opportunity of what you do.
Okay. You can reach me on my business line. That phone number is 470-952-9952. Again, that number is 470-952-9952, and that will reach me directly through my business. Or you can email me at patrick@willestateconsulting.com. That's the name of my company, Will Estate. That's WHEEL Estate, ESTATE, Consulting, CONSULTING.com. Will Estate Consulting. And I'm sorry.
Go on.
Or you can go to my website. You can go to my website. My website is willestateconsulting.com. And you can go on there, and there's a place for you to sign up in the event that you're looking for a car. There's a questionnaire that you can fill out. But yes, I have direct access to all of that. It comes directly to me or my assistant. And yes, and I respond to you almost immediately. So
on your website and all these places that you're directing people to, it will give them the opportunity of what they would cost for your services too?
No. So my services, my service is $925. I charge a $325 deposit, and I charge a $600 on the day that you get your keys. But I will save you way more in just time, headache, and money than that $925. And yes, so it's well worth it.
Well, I can tell our audience from firsthand experience, I didn't feel bad at all about the 900 George Washingtons that I had to give you, because when my wife and I left, we felt very, very comfortable with the deal and making sure that, we did the right thing. So as a client, and I'm telling all of our listeners, it works. I feel very, very comfortable with the process that Mr. Jefferson put in place. And hopefully, Herman, you'll get a chance to invite him to your group, Veterans Helping Veterans, to come in and give a session or a seminar to let folks know what his services are.
Well, that's true. I have a group that I founded 11 years ago. It's Veterans Helping Veterans, and it's we are nationwide. We founded here in Atlanta, and we meet in Clayton County area. And each month we try to have a guest speaker, and in the guest speaker that we try to have is someone that can speak directly to benefits that will help veterans, not necessarily with VA benefit, but with benefits. I know for a fact, having a financial advisor, Anthony and myself talking about, have a lawyer, and I think being the broker should be included in that, in my financial package, my personal financial package. So yes, we will definitely work on inviting you to present to our group.
Yeah, I think you will bring a lot of value to veterans. We always talk about speaking truth to the communities, and this is truth. Prior to your coming on, we talked about the things that veteran needs to do, and I'm sure you're aware of them. e-benefits and My Healthy Vet, those kind of things that they need to do to take care of themselves and their families. So we'll make sure that this information is posted on our Facebook page. As a matter of fact, we already had a nice write-up on you on our Facebook page. So if you have the opportunity to take a look at it, we'll just follow through and tag on to that to let them know the services you can provide for them.
Absolutely.
You know, so so you deal with all dealerships throughout. It doesn't matter on the make of the automobile.
Doesn't matter. So there are 314,000 dealerships in the country.
Wow.
I have access to every one of them. So wherever the best deal is for you, that's where I will find your vehicle. I've had vehicles shipped all over the country. I have a transport company that if I need one shipped from here to here, I have that arranged. I'll have it delivered to your driveway. And it doesn't matter where you are. I've had cars shipped from DC to Dallas, Texas. I've had them shipped from San Francisco here to Atlanta. I've had them shipped from Atlanta to Miami, Florida. I mean, it just wherever. And yeah, so I mean, once I'm talking to a dealership and they know, I start finishing their sentences for them, then that's when they know that, hey, I know what I'm talking about. You know, it becomes a pretty simple process then. Once they know they can't get over, and once they know we get down to trimming the fat pretty quick.
I saw that.
I'm sorry.
We probably don't have time to answer this question, but I'll call you. I got a call this week. Disabled veterans needs a car or van with full equipped with all the things that come with that, where you can put a chair and get out in a. I was told that certain dealers will do one a year for disability veterans. I would like to talk to you about it, Adam. This is something that I, as being in helping veterans, I get all kind of calls. But this is what I just got, and I would like to. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I worked for Ford for a really long time, and I know we had a program there where we would outfit, we would outfit vans for veterans. And even if you have a current veteran who already has a van and needs it outfitted, I have a company for that. Anything dealing with, if it rolls on wheels, I have a connect. I tell my clients all the time when they say, well, I want this and this, I tell them all, I got a guy. I got a guy for anything dealing with a vehicle. You know, quick phone call. So
okay. Vivian probably going. We got 2 minutes left, so we got to close that.
Well, I tell you, it's just been good. We were anticipating a great show. It's been a good show. We put out the information. Just to let you know, Mr. Jefferson, this is a worldwide view of this show throughout Facebook. It will be on Facebook later on. It will be on YouTube, so you can share it with your family and your friends and your business associates, and that's what we do. But before closing, we got to give kudos to our founder and leader, Ms. Penny Rogers. This radio show, Veterans Today, is a mustard seed of hers. Herman and I have been together for about 7 years. Ms. Vivian Greer, who's our production manager, is outstanding. She makes sure that we're tight and we're on schedule. And soon she'll be cutting our throat to get you off the air. So we just want to say thank you very much. You put great information out, and hopefully from this show, veterans will benefit from your knowledge and seek you out to get the vehicle of their choice.
Also, if you would like to give us your contact information that you want to put out on air.
You want me to type it in now, or
just speak it?
Yeah, he asked me for it earlier. I think I put it out there earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that already, but we're going to put it again online. But again, from my standpoint, sitting over here in Southwest Atlanta, thank you for being on our show today. Herman, why don't you take us out?
Thank you. First
Well,
of all, let me just say thank you for having me. I appreciate you guys. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to helping out as many veterans as I possibly can. So
Fantastic. Thank you.
well, we appreciate you. Thank you for your information. We pride ourselves in empowering the community, speaking the truth, and we definitely done that today. So to all our listeners worldwide, Veterans Day is signing off. Have a good weekend, and I hope you stay warm. Good
Take